Alright, what's up guys? So if you're new here, my name is Mauricio Celis and today we're going to be testing out the GoPro Hero 5. If you're starting out filmmaking, the GoPro is the best way to start with the low budget. But anyway, so you go to the GoPro website and you see their videos and then they're like high quality and it looks really cool. But then when you buy your own GoPro and then you test it out and then you put the footage in the computer and it looks like crap. Like it's not good quality, it's desaturated. There's no contrast and all that, but I don't know why it looks like that. Like the videos from your GoPro never looks like the videos how when they put it in their website. And you could change that by changing the frame rate, quality of it, how you film it, putting the warp stabilizer on post, color grading, color correction, and then putting the bars on the top like this. And you could do that. If you do all that, it will improve your GoPro footage and it will make it look more cinematic, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So the first thing you want to do is change the resolution and the frame rate. So before you go out and shoot, you should change the resolution to 1080, and you could change it to 4K, but I'm going to tell you why in just a second. So change it back to 1080, and then for the frames per second, put it at 60 frames per second. And then the reason why I told you to put it on 1080 is because you have the option to put it in linear mode, and that makes it look more like a DSLR. It makes the images look straight and not like distorted like GoPro-y. It's not gonna look like a GoPro, like a fisheye. If you put it in wide, it's gonna make the edges look distorted, and it's gonna look like a GoPro. And the point is not to make it look like a GoPro, make it look like it was shot in a DSLR or an iPhone or stuff like that. So that's why you change it back to linear, and it will look way better. Alright, now that I show you the best settings for the GoPro, I'm gonna go shoot a B-roll, and after I show you the B-roll, I'm gonna show you how I did it and then the products I use, because I think I'm gonna use that selfie stick, because I'm gonna do this shot, watch you notice it. And then also I'm gonna show you like how I walk, how I hold it, how to do different transitions, the color grading, the color correction, the bars. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then you do that and it'll make your GoPro footage look like 10 times better than how it was before, just straight out of the camera. You have to change the settings because the default settings is like, well, everybody else is shooting, just like people who are not that serious on filmmaking and who just film just because, you know, and then they just end up deleting it. But if you're the type of person that you're gonna edit it and put it on YouTube or on Instagram, you want it to look good, right? So time to roll the B-roll. Alright, so you want to learn how to do that B-roll, right? And how to make your GoPro footage look just like how you watch? Well, the first thing to do is to color correct. And I'm not going to go into full detail on how to color correct. If you want to learn how to color correct, you could find that on YouTube and just put color correction or like how to do it. But I'm just going to show you like the basics on color correcting. So for GoPro footage, the best color correction settings to do is bring up the contrast, because usually the contrast is all the way down. Maybe bring down the shadows. And then if you want, you could bring down bring up the highlights, or it depends of where you shoot it. If you were outside, maybe bring the highlights a little bit up. You could also saturate it, so yeah, that way you could bring up the colors more. Or if that's not your style, you could desaturate it. It depends on what you're going for or what the story is about. So if it's like in nature, then maybe you should saturate it more. But if it's more like cinematic, then you should desaturate a little bit more. And then for color grading, Premiere Pro comes in with a couple of presets that come with it. So you could just play around with all those presets, or you could like download LUTs from YouTubers, and then you could like play around with it. Change the opacity if you want it like super hard or just a little bit. Depends. It depends on the color correction. If you made it super dark, then you don't want the preset like all the way up, maybe like at 30% or something like that. So after you have that, it's time for you to bring the bars down, these bars. And to do that, you go to crop. Well, first you make an adjustment layer, and then you go to the effects panel, and then you put in crop. You drag that to the adjustment layer, and then you go to the effect controls, or I think it's effect controls, and then you go to top and bottom, and then you just put like how much you want the black bars to cover. I usually put like around 8 or 0.8 because then that's way too much. Now after you've done that, it's time for you to pick the right music. It depends what kind of story you want to tell or what video you want to do. So if you want to look for more cinematic look, then you have to pick that kind of music, a cinematic music, or you want to do like a travel video, maybe more like electric or dance. It depends what kind of video you want to show or what story is it about. After that is for the transitions. Now I'm going to show you how to do the transitions and how to film. How I film this hyperlapse is to get that smooth footage. Your GoPro already has stabilize put into it, so you get more. So that's a big advantage. So to get even more stabilized, when you walk, you have to put your heel down first and then your front foot, so that way you won't get that shakiness. That's how you walk when you have like a glide cam or like a stabilizer or steady cam or whatever. That's how you usually get smooth footage, is to bend your knees, heel, and then front foot, and then the same thing with the right one and then left, and just keep going. And same thing if you want to go sideways, you first get your right foot. If you're gonna go left, your right foot, and then instead of the heel first, is the toe first, and then your heel, and then you move the left one and do the same thing. And then how you hold it, I usually put it in my chest, so that way I won't move a lot, I don't extend it. Or if you want to get more eye level, do the same thing like that. Put it on like in front of your face. Or you can also like hold it with your index finger in the top and your thumb in the bottom. I usually go like the other way, like this. And then you can also use like a selfie stick, so that way you can get those high angles. So just put your right hand, or whatever you're comfortable with, your left hand, but I'm right. Your right hand on the grip, and then your left hand on, not all the way on top, but like a couple inches down. And then just hold it with your 2 fingers, and then you just go up slowly. And then also to get that clip, the camera is almost touching the floor. It wasn't the floor, it was a broom. All I did was just flip the camera upside down, so that way the lens was like almost touching the object. And then also to do your own transitions, you just turn the camera left, right, up or down really quickly, so that way it looks like you didn't do a cut and it was part of the video. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are all the tips I did, or those are the things I did to film that B-roll. And the B-roll came out pretty good. Well, actually I haven't seen it because I haven't edited it yet. Once you watch this video, obviously I already seen it because I edited it. But at this moment, I still haven't seen it, so I don't know how it's gonna come out. So yeah, those are the tips on how to make your GoPro footage look better and more cinematic. Not look too GoPro-y and like how everybody else does it. So if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe, and peace out.